What was so you mentioned all the things about comedy going down, but what was it that made you get into like switch entirely to comedy writing? Because I do love stand up as a whole, but one thing I found through doing a sitcom writing course, the process and the way they work, from my experience, I mean, you know a lot more and all that, but I feel that the process is vastly different in a way. And like when I'm writing a sitcom, it feels like I'm pranking people with a lot of severe personality faults. Whilst a stand-up, it feels like you're the personality fault, and you've got
Yeah, that's a very nice way of summing it up. Yeah, I think, I mean, I stopped doing stand-up because I was not bad at it, but I wasn't good enough at it to kind of get to the next level. So I kind of got, I'd been doing it for 7 or 8 years, and then all these people who'd been only been doing it for 2 or 3, so all my generation, they all started to do very well. All the people like, kind of, like I mentioned, like, Paul Merton, Joe Brand, uh, and Julian Clary, Harry Enfield. So they were all doing really well, and I was still sort of at a certain level. But as long as they were still my generation and they were kind of getting on, I felt, yeah, I'm still in the game. But then a lot of these new people came through, people who were younger than me, who'd started after me, like I like to say, like Harry Hill and Al Murray and people, and they leapfrogged me pretty quickly. I stayed at the same place, but I'd see them, Eddie Izzard, so I'd see them when they were starting out, and then I'd see them at my level, and then I'd see them getting much better than me, and I just thought, maybe, I mean, I was too young to work out what was not working, but I think looking back on it now, I just wasn't good enough, and I was a writer. I love writing. I'm obsessed with writing. So you're right. It's a different kind of writing. It's the performing of being a stand up is, yes, you've got to have good material. You can get on with not such good material if you're a good enough performer. But if you've got great material and you're not a good performer, you can't succeed as a stand-up. So you just, as a stand-up, you just have to be. You're not just a writer. You're kind of listening to you're aware of the vibe in the room. You're responding to the vibe in the room. You've got an energy that you're able to give to your material. You've got a way of selling your material, which is, like you say, it's you, but it's like an exaggeration of you.
yeah.
Um, and if you haven't got if your persona is not quite on 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 the right track as you are as a stand-up, then you're kind of you're not going to connect with the audience. But yeah, sitcom is much more. It is more like theatre than it is like stand-up, and it is about flawed characters and flawed characters who go out and they do stuff. So it's kind of, so there are more stories there. So it's like a character does a thing and that thing gets them into trouble, and that's a sitcom.